Imagine this, you send a message, you see they've read it, but nothing. Hours pass, then days. The silence becomes deafening. Your mind starts racing. Did I do something wrong? Are they angry? Should I apologize? Welcome to one of the most powerful manipulation tactics known to psychology, strategic silence. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why saying nothing at all might be the most devastating thing someone can do to you. Here's what most people don't know. Your brain is literally wired to fear silence. When someone refuses to respond, something fascinating and terrifying happens in your nervous system. Research shows that social rejection activates the same pain pathways in your brain as physical injury. Yes, the silent treatment actually hurts. Your anterior cingulate cortex, the part of your brain that processes physical pain, lights up like a Christmas tree. But it gets worse. Humans have an innate need to resolve uncertainty. When someone goes silent, your brain enters a state called ambiguous loss. You can't move forward, you can't move back, you're stuck in psychological limbo, and manipulators know this. Studies reveal that just 30 seconds of silence in a conversation causes cortisol, your stress hormone, to spike dramatically. Your mind starts filling in the gaps, usually with the worst possible scenarios. And this is exactly what gives silence its power. So how do manipulators weaponize silence? Let me break down the playbook. Step 1. Establish dependence. First, they make you dependent on their approval and communication. Everything's great. Constant contact, validation, attention. You get used to it. Step 2. Withdraw without warning. Then suddenly silence. No explanation, no closure, just gone. This creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes gambling so addictive. Step 3. Wait for you to break. Here's the genius part. They don't have to do anything. You do all the work. You start questioning yourself. You reach out. You apologize for things you didn't do. You change your behavior, trying to fix whatever you think you broke. Step 4. Return on their terms. When they finally respond, you're so relieved that you accept whatever terms they set. They've successfully conditioned you, and you didn't even realize it was happening. This isn't just about relationships. The same tactic works in negotiations, business deals, even politics. Research from Harvard's program on negotiation shows that strategic silence forces the other party to negotiate against themselves, revealing information, making concessions, and offering better terms just to break the uncomfortable silence. Now let's talk about where silence becomes pure power. Ever been in a salary negotiation? The person who speaks first after stating their number almost always loses. Why? Because silence creates pressure to fill the void. Most people cave within 10 seconds and start justifying, backtracking, or lowering their ask. Or think about that job interview. The interviewer asks you about your weaknesses, then just stares at you. That silence isn't accidental. They're testing if you'll keep talking and reveal more than you should. Skilled interrogators use the same technique. But here's where it gets darker. In personal relationships, the silent treatment isn't just manipulation, it's emotional abuse. When someone systematically uses silence to punish, control, or coerce you, they're not taking space to think, they're exerting dominance. The difference? Healthy silence is communicated. I need some time to process this. Manipulative silence is a weapon. I'm not speaking to you, and I won't tell you why or when I'll stop. One is self-care, the other is psychological warfare. So, how do you know if someone is using silence to manipulate you? Here are the red flags. Red flag number 1, pattern and punishment. It happens repeatedly after you assert boundaries or disagree with them. The silence is a punishment. Red flag number 2, refuses to communicate resolution. They won't tell you what's wrong, how long the silence will last, or what would resolve it. This keeps you in that state of anxious uncertainty. Red flag number 3 makes you responsible for their emotions. Somehow, their silence becomes your problem to solve. You're expected to read their mind and fix things. Red flag number 4 follows a cycle. Tension builds, silence happens, you capitulate, they return, and everything's great until the next cycle. This is classic abuse dynamics. Red flag number 5 affects your self-worth. You find yourself constantly questioning your value, over-explaining, or changing who you are to avoid triggering another silent episode. Here's the crucial distinction. Taking space to process emotions is healthy. Using silence as a tool to control someone else's behavior is not. One respects boundaries, the other creates them through fear. So what do you do if someone is using silence against you? First, don't chase. This is hard but crucial. When you chase someone who's intentionally silent, you're playing their game. Resist the urge to overtext, over-explain, or apologize for nothing. Second, name the pattern. If someone returns, calmly state what you observed. I noticed you went silent for 3 days without explanation. That's not how I communicate in healthy relationships. Don't accuse, just state facts. Third, set consequences. If you need space, I respect that. But I need you to communicate that rather than disappearing. If this pattern continues, I'll need to reconsider this relationship. Then, follow through. Fourth, use the power yourself. Sometimes the best response to manipulative silence is your own silence, but with a twist. Yours isn't manipulation, it's simply removing yourself from a toxic dynamic. You're not punishing them, you're protecting yourself. Finally, trust your gut. If someone's silence consistently makes you feel anxious, worthless, or desperate for their attention, that's not love, friendship, or respect. That's control. Remember, in healthy relationships, communication might pause, but it never weaponizes. Silence should create space for reflection, not a battlefield for power. The psychology of silence reveals a profound truth. The most powerful responses aren't always verbal, but there's a world of difference between strategic silence used for manipulation and mindful silence used for wisdom. The next time someone goes silent on you, ask yourself, is this space for reflection or a tool for control? Your answer will tell you everything you need to know. If this video resonated with you, if you've experienced this, or if you've learned something new about human behavior, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community that understands the hidden psychology behind everyday interactions. And remember, silence can be powerful, but your voice and your boundaries are more powerful still. I'll see you in the next one.